Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and I get a lot of questions asked of me over the YouTube channel or during Twitch streams, and a lot of the questions concern World of Warcraft, PvP, playing Rogue, playing in arenas. Some of the questions that I've been getting asked a lot more often of is basically along the lines of, hey, I'm new to arenas, or hey, I'm new to PvP, but I kind of want to take arenas seriously. How do I start? Where do I start? What class should I play? What spec should I play? Is Rogue a great class for it? How can I get better at Rogue? How can I find someone to play the game with? Who should I play with? What classes should I choose? Where can I find people to, push rating with? And I basically want to try to cover as many of those points in this video commentary. So I feel like one of the things that was done right with Warlords of Draenor is introduction of skirmishes. Skirmishes are a great way to casually get into arenas and just try out your class with different comps, different combinations, playing against random players, whether they be great players like gladiators given skirmishes, or just random your average Joe. I feel like skirmishes are a great place to really get to know the arena scene, get a feel for it, get a feel for the comps, get a feel for your class and how your class functions within arenas, because PvP is different, let's say battlegrounds compared to arenas. I feel like skirmishes offer you a lot of advantages as well as disadvantages. One of the cool things that skirmishes has, which I kind of value, is the fact that there's no VoIP. Kind of like battlegrounds, there's no real voice communication. Things happen in arenas, things happen way too quickly. In a battleground, you may be able to tell your friendlies, hey, Lumbermill Inc., and then people run over and then you defend it. But in skirmishes or in arenas, you can't just say, hey, I'm waiting for the rogue. As soon as Rogue opens, you tell your friendly, like, oh, CC him real quick. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go kick the healer. Things just aren't quick enough. You basically are just trying to move your character and press buttons rather than type out exactly what you want to say. So communication transfers a bit differently within arenas. You gotta be more open-minded and more watchful for things around you. If you see a friendly playing defensive trying to kite a melee DPS, you can peel for him. You can offer him assistance, and he can show that he needs assistance by just trying to run and play defensive. And if you can read that, you can benefit the situation. If your partner, who's a feral, pops Incarnation Trinket and is going for the rake stuns, make sure not to throw any stuns at the enemy, just throw out raw damage. This way the feral gets to build up his combo points, triple stun the target, get a massive, nasty, ferocious bite in there, and you get to help him by not DRing his stuns and just simply sinking damage into an opponent. You've seen a healer who is just spam cloning targets, so basically it tells you, hey, you can swap from one to the other. You can swap and sit on a hunter for a little bit. Then you can go and sit on a priest for a bit. Then you go back to the swap as hunter. And the silent communication either works or doesn't. You either find synergies within arenas fairly easily, fairly quickly, or you don't find them. And it's completely okay if you find some player or a class that doesn't synergize well with you at all. We're not all 100% compatible, and that's one of the ways you can find someone you can play with. Let's say you found this awesome Boomkin and you're playing a rogue, and you guys queued into a skirmish arena and you were like, wow, that was kind of cool, we had synergy, we didn't even discuss a plan. Oh, that was so cool, we matched each other perfectly. You decided to queue with them a couple more times. After a couple dozen queues turns into 20 queues, into 30 queues, into 40 queues, and then you have somebody who understands your general battle plan, your general strategy, and you understand their general strategy, and you can combine that together and make into this combination of awesome that decimates arenas. One of the other benefits of playing skirmishes is the fact that you're playing with completely random players. You are never sure what comp you're gonna run into. Because of this matter of randomness, you get to play with a variety of different classes, no matter what your class is. You can discover which classes work well, let's say like a rogue. I discovered a paladin works decent with a rogue, a DK works decent with a rogue, but I'd rather have a mage, a healer, or a boomkin. A hunter can work well, a feral can work well, but some classes are definitely stronger as my combination than others. You also get to face different comps, like for example, let's say you're playing a double TPS that's not compatible together really. You don't really have that many abilities that synergize all too well. It's like a rep paladin warrior combination. But that's part of the fun and part of the challenge is being able to take the situation you're given, no matter how good or crappy it might be, and then making the very best out of it. You really get to test yourself as a player and how well do you personally play. You get to test yourself against comps that are much better than you, but if you're able to outplay them and defeat them and watch out for stuns and fears and DRs and bursts and defensives and everything, if you're able to maximize the potential of yourself as a player and your class in general, then you're able to basically grow as a player, because there's nothing in the arena to really impact too much of how you're gonna play. It's just usually 4 or 6 players, depends if you queue in 2v2 or 3v3. In a 2v2, there's 1 player that's on your team and 2 players on the other team. There's not too many factors of, let's say in Battleground, you're having a 1v1 with a feral, but he's kicking your ass, and here comes your team brigade with a mage and a hunter, and they just wipe the feral. And I mean, you didn't really learn anything from there in the BG, but in arenas, in skirmishes, it's a little more tight packed, there's a little less room for effort, there's a lot more room for perfection, and there's a lot more room for learning, I feel like. Because of this fast pace that doesn't ever change, no matter if you're in a skirmish or if you're in a real rated arena, you get used to the pacing, and then you're able to take it from there. You're able to take the pacing that the game gives you and basically apply it to yourself and apply it into your own basic general knowledge and just go from there. And I feel like overall, you get to improve yourself as a class, you get to improve yourself as a player, you play against different varieties of comps, learning those strengths and strategies, playing against different skill levels of players that you meet. Some players are going to be high skill level, some players are going to be low skill level, but you'll be able to tell that apart once you queue rated arenas. You'll be able to tell that apart once you take this out into Battlegrounds. You'll be a little bit better ready. You'll be forced to use focus macros in order to keep a tab on everybody around you. You'll learn new tricks of how to defeat different classes, because instead of focusing on, you'd say your team of 9 and a team of 10 random players, and you're never sure who is doing what, you'll learn what each class does individually in terms of the spells, in terms of cooldowns, in terms of abilities to look out for, because there's a lot less room for error. Skirmishes, I would say, is probably the best place to start your solo journey experience. In most cases, most players don't find themselves, oh, you know, you're just born with a team partner, with an arena partner, and you just queue the arena together. You have to find the partner. That's part of the fun, that's part of the strategy. And there's a lot of opportunities out there to find one. Skirmishes being one of them. You can go dueling and impress somebody within duels. You can do BGs. There's a lot of opportunities, but I feel like skirmishes basically make it that much easier to concentrate on the arena scene. So thank you guys so much for watching. Go out and do some skirmishes. They're fun, and you might find someone to play with. I'll see you guys in the next video.